Welcome to the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, where we bring you a weekly dose of powerlifting news, tips, and training advice with a touch of 80s rock ballads. This podcast is presented by Team Rohr Powerlifting, your source of the most comprehensive coaching and meet day preparation. Here are your hosts, Josh Rohr and Laura Sturm.
Welcome to episode 145. Hi, Josh Rohr.
Hi, Laura Sturm. We have Coach Extraordinaire Benji Green with us. What's up, Ben?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Good. Did you have fun in Dallas?
I mean,
at Equip Nationals?
Fun,
Define fun.
Fun has a lot of meanings. What about you? Did you have fun?
I did. As busy as it was, and I realized I'm out of shape because there's a point in time where I was like overheated and winded and had to go lay down and take a nap because I felt awful. That was great, but
nobody noticed. Nobody noticed.
I'm sure nobody noticed.
Josh turned 40 and
it's been all downhill. But yeah, so we have we'll do a Nationals recap here in a second, but this weekend we have Ray Nosari competing at the lift fueled meet. So I want to wish him good luck, and should be a good meet. I will be out of town. I'm actually going to be house sitting Laura's place.
Vacation, you mean?
Yeah, it's not really house sitting. It is vacation, but
yeah.
Anyway, so Nationals recap, and Benji, feel free to chime in anywhere here that you want. Actually, who are you? Let's start with that. People don't know who Benji is other than some of the music lists.
Kind of like, I don't know, washed up power lifter.
You're in the right place.
Yeah.
Right. Us too. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that about covers it. My day job, I'm a judge, which I think actually made nationals suck for me more, but we'll get there. We'll get there in due time.
Can't wait.
But yeah, I think I've been lifting since 2013 and equipped since 2015. And I think once you go equipped, you just never ever go back. So
agree.
Probably accurate for a lot of people. So let's do a quick recap. So we had 5 lifters competing: Stacie, Amy, Laura Styrlund, not Laura Sturm, Katey Dodge, and Ashley Hanna. Stacie ended up with a PR squat in total. Amy ended up with American record squat, and she earned her Masters Pro card. Laura Styrlund earned her Masters Pro card, and all 3 lifts and total were American records, so that was pretty good. Katey Dodge got second in the Open and second in the Masters 1, but she already had her pro card and Masters Pro card, but she renewed it. And then Ashley Hanna went 8 for 9 and pulled a PR and placed 5th in the Open after not really training. Like the last month or so was just really sporadic. So she did really good as well. Yeah. Anything to add, Ben? Oh, we placed first. We placed first as a team in the Masters division. I somehow forgot to mention that.
It's a big deal, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of a big deal.
Not much to add. I got to watch Josh like totally lose his shit multiple times.
There it is.
Yeah, which is like a lot of fun because I think you're getting crazier and more aggressive with age, where most people like calm down and mellow out. I think you might actually be going the other direction.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's possible. I mean, I do feel like things annoy me more now. So that could be very well. That could be the case.
You want to tell the story about?
No, I don't.
Okay.
You can.
Okay.
I want to hear this because
I was going to start with the first story. And this is where I found out that I had gotten soft. So for anybody who doesn't know, I think equipped nationals, especially since everybody is equipped, it is a pressure cooker for a guy like Josh Rohr, because if you're handling, I've handled and I have competed at equipped nationals now, different years. And I can tell you that competing is way less stressful than handling multiple people, because like when you're competing, if you blow it, well, I mean, you just blew your own lifts, like, that's on you. But if you're handling somebody and you blow it, like you have destroyed their entire day. And it's a lot to balance, running around, wrapping knees, making sure that people are in the right order. And so I saw Josh get frayed. It was pretty early in the morning, wasn't it? I remember my instructions. You don't remember this? My instructions
It's
were
all a blur.
go over.
It's all a blur, my friend.
So we had, I think it was Stacie lifting on one platform and Amy lifting on another platform, like on opposite sides of the venue. And Josh says to me, hey, go check on Stacie. If she is more than 7 out, immediately come back over here. And so like I go over there and I'm looking at the computer screen and I'm thinking to myself, is she 7 out or is she 6 out? Because there's a girl walking up there. Do we count that girl? Do we count Stacie? And I look over at Stacie and then I look back at Josh and all of a sudden from across the venue, I hear, what the are you doing? There were some other words in there as well. And so I'm like, well, what? And so he's like, I told you. And so I go back over there and like, yeah, get the chewing. And like my feelings are hurt. And I'm like, no, you're right. Like, you're right. I was just standing there, like staring off into space, figuring out what we're going to do next. And I realized at that point, it's gotten soft. Like powerlifting is aggressive.
So no joke. I don't remember that.
You seriously don't remember that?
I believe it. I believe it. I just don't remember it. And so I will say this. I think the part that really like just pissed me off so much at the meet was it was loud, which is great, but my voice was going out. So like I was yelling as loud as I could, but could not project my voice. And it was so frustrating because like you're 10 feet away and I'm trying to get your attention and I'm like yelling at the top of my lungs and you can't hear me. It literally, it's like 10 feet away. I was starting to get really frustrated. So,
yeah, it is a lot of, if we would have had one more lifter, I think in that afternoon session, it could have been like too much. It was a lot to, and I think it's only during squats because you're trying to wrap knees and do the order and everything. And,
well, and part of it was also like during the warm-ups, like Amy and Stacie were helping in the second session, but then the part that we didn't really think about was, okay, we're right in the middle of squat warm-ups and they're calling them for awards. So they just they left, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to make them like miss their award ceremony.
Well, and that was about the time that you had the heat stroke too.
Yeah. Right around there.
Yeah. I remember, Ashley opened up her suitcase. She was like warming up for squats and she was squatting raw and she opens up her suitcase and there's like 12 pairs of knee wraps. And she looks at me and she's like, hey, go wrap these. And I'm like, okay. And like, you have to be cognizant of how you are talking to the lifters because you don't want to like be mean to them and, you know, get in their head somehow. So I'm like, okay. And I'm looking down and in my, you know, I say outwardly, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll go do that. But in my head, I'm like, why are we rolling 12 pairs of wraps? Like you're going to take 2 in warmups and 3 on the platform. Maybe we have 1 spare. I'm like, I'm rolling wraps for 4 other people right now. But I'm like, just let it go. And so like you had yelled at me, I'm rolling wraps. And as I'm rolling wraps, like people are coming up and just throwing wraps on the ground for me to roll. And then you stood up
like
at one point.
People that are not even people that are not on our team, you mean, or just like
no. They were on our team, but it was just like, hey, bitch boy, roll these wraps. And then you like wandered over and you're like, hey, are you gonna wrap her knees or what? And I'm like, and so I go wrap Ashley's knees. I remember getting up and we come up and got the bar loaded for her. And there's a coach from some other team standing like right in front of the squat rack. And Ashley says, she's like, excuse me, can you move over? And he steps over like 6 inches, like clipboard in hand. And at this point I had become frayed and I'm like, get the, you know, out of the way. And he's like, I'm sorry. And he like scurries off and I felt everybody around me, all their eyes were on me and they realized, okay, he's frayed. Like we're going to leave him alone now.
Wow.
So my favorite person, I had seen Laura, how do you pronounce that? Is it Styrlund? I was
Styrlund.
Styrlund. I had seen her around a couple times, but never really interacted with her. And she's like my favorite person. She was my favorite person of the whole weekend. She's just like drill sergeant, quiet and driven with this stern look on her face. And so I think you were wrapping her knees and I was taking her up to the platform. And then I was wrapping Ashley's knees. And anyway, so I took her up to the platform. I think it was her second attempt. She hits the lift, comes off the platform. I'm trying to get her out of the way. And her son is with her, and he is helping also, like get her straps down and stuff like that. So we get her out of the way. I drop down on her left leg and I'm undoing the wrap. I get it loose. He's on the other leg. And so like I'm getting the wrap undone, and you know how it pops when you get it released, and then you got to unfurl it just a little bit so it just comes all the way all the way down, and it's doing that. And all of a sudden I am getting punched in the head. Like it is like Hulk, like raining down blows on my head. And so like I fall onto the floor and like go for cover. And I'm like, what in the world? And her son is struggling to get the wrap off the other leg, and she's like, get over to this leg now. And I'm like, all right, I'm like, get out of here. And so like I undo that leg, and I'm like, why are you hitting me? He's the one that can't unwrap your leg. And he's like, he's my son, I can hit him anytime I want. And I'm like, I don't know that makes any sense, but like, okay, you're the lifter, like, sure. Okay, go sit down. So yeah,
that's a great story. I love it.
Yep.
Being pummeled
mercilessly. I'd way rather compete than Hanna.
Yeah,
no question about it.
It's been so long since I've competed, I don't even know anymore, but I think I probably still enjoy competing more. But I do. I love the pressure of it all, because I don't know, that's just fun for me. I enjoy the handling of it. And like from the outside, like people are probably like, what a shit show. But at the end of the day, like everything got covered. Like as chaotic as it was, like I thought as a team we did pretty good handling.
The part that's super impressive is that you're able to do complex math at the end of the day after all of those sessions. Like Katey was in a battle for first, and you've got like all these numbers and everything, and we've been up since 5:30 in the morning or something like that in the venue since 6:30, and it's now like 8 o'clock at night or something like that. And like my brain, I've got 2 brain cells left at that point, and they're fighting with each other. And you're over there like calculator and pencil, got all your deadlift attempts ready to, swap them out. And yeah, very, very, very impressive.
But for real though, you were awesome, man. So like, despite, what I may or may have not said to you, I do appreciate everything. You did a really good job.
Josh has no memory. Wow.
I really don't. It's all a blur.
Wow.
Yeah.
Read the fucking chart.
Yeah. Like that, like honestly, I don't even remember that. That's the story we tell all the
Right.
time, but like I don't actually remember that moment, but I remember it now from the story.
I will carry that moment with me forever. I will remember for you.
Sweet.
Wow. And when you guys were going, I was like, oh man, it'd be so nice. I'd like to go too. And now with you guys telling the story, I'm like, nope. Actually,
I don't know.
nobody
have
wants
fun.
me wrapping their knees either. So
I think I laughed. So after the meet was over, I think I pretty much laughed nonstop from there all the way back to the airplane to the way home. I mean, it was so much fun. Besides the pressure cooker that was Saturday. So
yeah. And then when the pressure's off, you can laugh and have fun. So
yeah.
I miss that part, because there were some meets that I've been to that my face and my belly hurt from laughing the entire weekend. We would have such a good time. I miss that.
I feel like some of the after party stuff or after meet stuff is like, it's more memorable because of the shit show, like high stress prior. Like I feel like we bond over that and then we have fun after. Maybe that's not actually true. Maybe that's just my only experience of it.
When I told you I was going to come, I thought to come to Dallas, I thought to myself, like, I got 5 pounds to lose. Like, this will probably get me back into it. You know what I mean? I could drop down to 165, like lose the 5 pounds, like get strong again. Like, I just need a little push. And then as we were waiting on the awards at like 9 o'clock at night, my wife called me and she's like, so you're going to sign up for a meet? And I said, oh, hell no, I am done. I am done. I am never getting on a platform again. This is like a pressure cooker. And then we went out and like laughed about the day and had a drink and like everybody was telling stories and like, and now I'm signed up October 7th, getting back in gear.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What? You just
I don't know. It's
what?
just the people sucker you back somehow. Yeah.
That is awesome. Like, this
Wow.
is breaking news. I didn't know that.
I'm coming back.
It is.
October 7th, huh?
Yep.
You just told me that.
I told you the first half of the story.
Right? You see, Pen Green always pranking.
That's awesome. Dude, I like
That's
so
awesome.
October 7th. So I'm planning to do that deadlift only meet at the end of October,
Okay.
but
No way.
I'm just not going to be ready to do a full meet by October 7th, or I'd say maybe we should sign up and
What do you mean
Compete
ready? Like ready? All you gotta do is, the gear lifts everything anyway. Just put the shit on.
yeah, but here's the thing. I don't know that I can squat an empty bar down below parallel and back up without hurting something. So
That could be a problem.
yeah. I mean, maybe by then, but
The great part is that it's so fun to train again after you have taken like a year off. Because, like, yeah, granted, you start out super weak, but you get strong so fast. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's like, yeah, every workout I could put weight on the bar. Because like I'm squatting 185 right now.
like
Yeah.
if you just take like 2 years off, then train for a meet, take 2 years completely off, like it's perpetual newbie gains.
Oh yeah, it's great. It keeps you very excited.
Yeah, I mean, you never get beyond that certain point, but like
No. This is my
newbie gains.
this is my life with powerlifting. I hit like low level, intermediate level, and like, yeah, forget it. I'm done. I'll see you in 2 years when I can milk the newbie gains again.
Nice.
I love it. Ben's doing a meet.
Wow. That's
That's-
amazing. And Josh is too.
Yeah.
I almost feel like
So are you
Nah.
going to compete against Elmore?
Yeah, you should. Is he doing that meet?
I don't know.
He's
I thought
been-
he challenged you to that meet.
He challenges me to everything. So whether or not he actually is or not, I don't know. But I welcome it, Elmore.
all right. Breaking news, Chris Elmore. Come on, bring it. Bring it.
Breaking news is Chris Elmore is considering not signing up to compete against me. I don't know
Because
if
he's
that's
scared.
true. But
Scared.
we can say whatever we want on here. I heard
If I
Elmore's
had-
scared.
If I had Elmore's pterodactyl arms, I also would not compete against you in a deadlift only competition. Like the guy locks out the bar at his nipples. So
Oh, all right. All right. I need to come to one of these meets. Maybe both.
Yeah, maybe
'cause
both. Yeah,
It just sounds like fun.
it will be
Dates, wait, what was it? October what?
October 7th in Statesboro.
Ben and Josh,
Well, I'm competing on October 28th, the day of the
October
dead.
28th. Ah, that's a great name for a
Yeah.
deadlift meet.
So I haven't signed up yet because registration doesn't open until July 1st. So pending the Wi-Fi at Laura Sturm's house will determine whether or not I actually get signed up.
I will
time.
remember to leave you the password.
Sounds good.
It usually works.
TBD. Anything else nationals wise before we move on?
not that we can share publicly.
I don't know what else you have, but we can edit out whatever we have to, but we'll move on. So chicken update. Last episode, I said we lost one of our chickens. It was, the only assumption was the hawk got it because we didn't see anything, whatever. Well, about 5 days later, I'm out there feeding them and I count 5 chickens. I'm like, what the hell? So as it turns out, one of our blondes, because when I looked for this thing, I looked all over the yard, went outside the fence, like crawled under our deck, all this stuff. Obviously looked in the chicken coop, right? Looked in the house and everything. Well, apparently this one chicken, instead of sitting in the egg box, was sitting down on the floor up against the egg box. So when you look in the egg box on an angle, you're looking down right past it. Like it had to have been just out of sight. And it was in there for like 4 days apparently and wasn't coming out because it made its own little egg nest there on the floor for some reason.
Oh, It was getting broody and trying to hide them.
Yeah. So the
Mhm.
damn thing was like in there the whole time, and we spent like a lot of time walking around like in the woods, in the weeds, like walking up and down the street, like where the hell did this thing go? There's no sign of it, no sign of a struggle. Yeah, the damn thing's just been in the chicken coop the whole time. So yay.
Chicken husbandry. It's great.
Yeah, I hate chickens.
Oh, so you won't be doing the chicken tending?
Do you want him doing the chicken tending after that story?
Oh, good point. I mean, hey, at least he didn't lose it because he's colorblind.
No, but
Like,
don't
he
you
couldn't,
have
like,
like
see the chicken.
but don't you have like this disabled chicken with like busted
Yeah.
up legs that can't move that he has to carry around to fresh grass?
Yeah, but he'd probably like that. Just
That's true.
when else can you like tuck a rooster under your arm and just walk around with it? Not very often, except when it's like an invalid. Chicken drama. There's always some of it. And we had a bee's nest or a hive, one of our hives. We had 4 hives. We now have 3 hives.
What happened to that?
They were we had a failing queen, so we replaced the queen, but in the middle of all that, the quantity of bees got down too low and she stopped laying completely because they just had too much room. She's like, nobody can keep these eggs warm, so I'm not going to lay any in your face. So we made a smaller box for them, put them in a smaller box so they'd be more crowded, so she'd start laying eggs again. And they were like, fuck you, we're out. They left.
Did they make a new queen? Normally when they swarm, don't they make a new queen and take off with that queen and leave the old one behind?
They usually do, but there wasn't enough in this box to leave anybody. There was like 5 bees that got left behind.
Wow.
And they just left. We're like, man, we just got a new queen. We, drove an hour and a half for this queen. We got all situated. She was laying, but they weren't able to keep the brood warm. So yeah, when people say there's colony collapse disorder, these colonies are really living on the brink of the edge. So bees, when they die, so are we. Doing my part, keeping them alive.
They have Georgia has a license plate, a bee license plate.
I have one.
Do you? Okay, never mind.
Of course.
I'm not telling you anything you don't know.
Yeah. But Josh, you don't have to do anything with the bees.
Okay. Sounds good.
Or I could write down some things for you to do with the bees and just laugh.
They don't like the bee suit. Don't wear the bee suit.
Yes. Go over there, take the box, shake it.
Yeah.
They like that.
Real funny.
And then step on them. Step on as many as you can.
Oh, no.
And there's where it goes too far, Ben.
Sorry. Well, because the only time I've ever gotten stung is like when I stepped on one. So
yeah. Dan was doing something out there this morning and I went to hand him something and I didn't have my suit on. And they kind of transferred from him onto me, except they got up under my hair. And I went running into the house because I had bees all in my hair. That was fun. It's a great way to wake up. You don't need coffee.
That sucks.
Yeah. But nobody died. No one got stung. So.
Benji, do you have a powerlifting situation for us?
I'm not sure how coherent it is, but the gist is, so it's something that I saw, I think it happened to Stacie and I think it was Ashley. And I know that it's happened to me at nationals last time, I guess it was in 21. And that is coming into a contest where you're like, I'll speak from my own experience, where you are like on a very, very slow cut, like maybe a half pound a week or a pound a week so you can make weight. And then you show up like 3 days out and you're like 2 pounds underweight. And like, you just keep losing weight. And I'm almost positive that I know it was Stacie that this was happening to. She was like way under. It's happened to me where I've been way under. I don't know if it's the travel in the airplane or what does it. And I really don't know what to do about it besides, I guess, eating more. But what I've seen is that normally precipitates kind of a shitty competition too.
Yeah, especially equipped because your gear is going to fit differently. I mean, that's the main thing. I mean, obviously, anytime you're lighter, your ability to generate force is typically less because you're, less mass, right? But I think the big thing that it affects people that get really nervous at meets typically, because as the meat gets closer, the anxiety of the meat starts creeping in, and that causes you to burn more calories just in general. It also typically sometimes messes with your stomach a little bit. So like you might not be able to eat your normal amounts of whatever. So like even from a water retention standpoint, a lot of times like you start shedding water just because of, you know, the lack of some of the vitamins and minerals you might normally be getting. So that's the thing that, I mean, you know, once you know that happens to you, like that needs to start becoming part of your, you know, I guess, plan going in. Like, you know, if you're cutting, well, maybe you don't need to cut if you're 3 pounds over, you know, because you're going to drop it. Or, you know, like you said, eating more and drinking more is the answer to counteract that. If you're trying to stay where you're at, but you know, it's hard when when you get the butterflies in the stomach and things like that, it is hard to sometimes get enough calories to maintain, but you know, that's the game.
Yeah, I think the last time that it happened to me, I thought like it was the night before and I was 2 pounds under. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like I can get up tomorrow morning and eat breakfast. And I think that was a major flaw. I should have, hey, I'm going to eat breakfast right now before I go to bed. And then I'm going to eat breakfast again tomorrow morning. Would have been a better fix than, great, I'm going to wake up 3 pounds lighter in the morning. Like it's too late at that point almost.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause at that point, the only thing the last day that you would be doing is just potentially like trying to hold on to water. You've already lost the actual weight, you know,
right,
over those last couple of weeks. That's a good one, Ben. And that happens to a lot of people. Like I do know that's a real thing. Like people get stressed out about not making weight. You know, and people react differently to stress too. Like some people, you know, they hold weight when they're stressed out, but you know, a lot of times it's the anxiety of the meet, like the excitement kind of that just like kind of kicks your metabolism up a little bit and you end up losing more than you thought possible. So yeah, it's all part of the equation. Like the more meets you do, the more data you can collect on, you know, your trends going into a meet, the better you can target that.
I've had those moments where, you know, I'm like coming into a meet, and I'm like right on, right on, right on. And I go over, I start going up, and I start going up. And then like inevitably, like the last minute is when it drops. And I'm like, how did that just happen? I've been trying to drop like, yeah, like right coming in, skidding in, I'll lose like 4 kilos overnight. Like, how does that even happen? No
That's
idea.
the sweet spot.
Yeah, all my best meets, I've had to spit. You know, you go weigh in, you don't make weight because you're like 0.2 over, and then you've got to spit. And like I kind of welcome that now.
Yeah, I mean, in general, you want to be the biggest, absolutely biggest that you can be on the platform and still be in your weight class. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Like I've had a couple meets where I was under, but in general, yeah, when I'm cutting and like you only make weight for like 3 minutes and then you're back over your weight class after you eat. That's the sweet spot. That's the dream.
Yep. Ah, miss it sometimes.
It's never too late.
I miss it
There's
that much.
a deadlift only meet October 28th you could do with me, Laura.
Yeah. If I can get my hamstring feeling good again. We'll see.
You're an M2 now, right?
Yeah.
You're
pointing that out.
That hamstring's never going to feel better than it does right now. It's on a downward. It's all downward from here.
Yeah, there's that. Well, this morning when I was running from bees in my hair, I was like, oh, I reactivated it. So there you go. Good times.
If you would have had briefs on, you probably wouldn't have aggravated
it. Next time.
Yeah.
I'm going out there to the bees, I had to wear my briefs.
Did I ever tell you about the time I pulled my hamstring playing kickball against a team of old ladies?
No.
Okay. So Matt Buttermer, Hope, and myself joined a kickball league. This was, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe now, maybe not quite that long. But anyway, we were average. We weren't, spectacular, but we weren't bad. Well, we played this, and it was co-ed teams. But we played this one team. They were called what were they? They were called the Pink something, but it was a bunch of like 50, 60-year-old women, and it was all women. They didn't have any guys on their team. Long story short, we were playing this team of ladies. I kicked the ball, and was kind of, I was going to, just make it kind of a casual jog to third base. It was going to be a nice, easy triple because I kicked it into an open spot. Well, the lady in center field like had a freaking cannon. So like I'm kind of jogging around first and I see her like throw the ball and she like throws like a like line drive to like the shortstop. And I'm like, holy crap. So like I start like chucking it to kind of make sure I can get to third because I'm not going to like get stuck with a double after that. Well, anyway, I round second and I pulled my hamstring and like basically like got thrown out by this old lady at third. And then I was limping for like a month after that.
So Ben, did you catch how he said this old lady who's like in her 50s?
I did. Oh my God. I almost jumped in and said, that's not old.
Thanks for not interrupting because like I was wanting that to sit there and marinate for a while. But I say that, let me say this though. I say that because these 50 and 60-year-old ladies were old. Like they were
rode hard and put up wet old.
I'm not sure what that means, but they
but
yes. So the term old was less about their actual ages. Like they were freaking old, man. Like none of them, I mean, I hate to be mean in case none of them were listening, but like they were, I was shocked that they were out there. Like good for them. They were out there playing kickball, but man, like,
all right, I know that you don't get out all that much. So I'm going to tell you in the future, when you see ladies like this, don't tell them that they're old. Tell them that they've been rode hard and put up wet. That they'll appreciate that a lot more.
Okay. I will tell them Judge Green said so. But anyway, yeah, so that was my pulled hamstring story. Like
kickball with old ladies.
Yeah, I mean they were too. Like I don't even know how to describe it.
Why did they decide to do a kickball league if they were decrepit?
I don't know. I mean, one of them had a freaking cannon arm, though. I'll tell you that.
And you were the only one that got hurt that day.
I was. Yeah. Let that sink in.
Oh.
Well, when you frame it that way, that kind of stings.
Do you think you could play kickball against old ladies now and not get a pulled hamstring?
Well, so here's part of it. So Matt and I would both spend about 20 minutes warming up, like doing like dynamic warm up stuff before every game. And I'm not going to lie, we were a little overconfident when we showed up to play these ladies because I'm like, we don't need to warm up. Like, we'll be fine. And we would have been fine if I would have not like tried to run full speed, but the situation called for it and, paid the price. In hindsight, obviously, you should always warm up. But
wait, so who actually won the game, though?
We won the game.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty lopsided, actually, but I did get thrown out at third, and I did pull my hamstring. So we did suffer some casualties on our roster that game. I was on the IR for about 4 weeks after that.
If I got thrown out at third by a 70-year-old lady, I might almost blame it on my hamstring. Just saying.
So part of it was my fault, right? Because like the lady threw it in from center to like shortstop. And like as she's throwing the shortstop, I'm rounding second. But I legit did not think it was going to get to shortstop. Like I'm like, there's no way this lady, because she was like back at the wall, like at the fence, and she threw it all the way in. And you ever get the feeling like people have just like this crazy feats of strength that's like one time in a million, it'll never happen again? That was this lady's throw. Like she could have to make that throw a million times for like, and she just has to do it correct one time for like $1 million, and she would never make that throw again. Not in a million years.
He had the eye of the tiger.
Yeah. But anyway, but it was twofold. The shortstop lady had to catch the throw, and then the shortstop lady had to turn and actually make the throw to third. And just the stars aligned, man. Like they were a well-oiled machine on that play.
Oh, that's classic.
My hamstring, on the other hand,
amazing.
Not so well-oiled.
Yeah. It takes forever to heal hamstrings too. They're a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're back now, and you'll be doing a deadlift only meet, and that's amazing.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it's amazing or not. It'll be something.
Great. Now I've just jinxed it. Just jinxed it. Well, it'll be good to see you back, Ben.
Agreed. That's the best news
Awesome.
of this episode. Ben's signed up for me, and you're already signed up. It's not that you're going to sign up; you are already signed up.
Yeah, these things fill up fast. Like it had been open for like 2 days, and there were like 26 people, and I was like, yeah, I guess I better pull the trigger. Or so yeah, I've pulled the trigger. Has been pulled.
I'm pulling up the roster right now just to confirm.
Oh, he's confirming. Trust but verify.
No, it's not loading, so I'm going to have to take your word for it.
Well, right.
welcome back to the platform, Benji. Laura, you're the last one remaining.
Come on back now.
Bye now.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up here. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at PL Ballads Podcast. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, shoot us an email at plballadspodcast@gmail.com. Benji, thanks for everything, man. Appreciate you being on the episode.
No problem. Enjoyed it.
Catch you guys next week. Later.
Bye now.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, please remember to subscribe and share it with your friends.